For whatever reason, you guys think we have some kind of credibility to give advice because we have a radio show. We don't. We are no different than you guys. We just have opinions, and we are certainly not professionals. Most of these like a romantic advice. So, you know what? We've all been through some stuff, so we try to give advice as though we're friends. But some of the emails that we receive from you guys are way above our pay grade, man. And it would be dangerous, I think, for us to try to give advice on subjects that are so serious where we could really do some damage.
Well, but you send these emails and some of them are so heartbreaking. Like, we want to help in any way we can. We just know it would be irresponsible for us to offer advice on something that we don't know anything about. And we also come on the air a lot and tell people, you know, we're all huge advocates of mental health and fighting the stigma and getting therapy, but not everybody's in a position where they have access to that. So that's why we're like, we need to start a free therapy segment.
Which is what we're doing on Thursdays now with a licensed therapist, which is Miranda Campbell, who is here with us right now. Hi.
Hello there.
She is part of the Port Counseling Group, and she joined us last week and did such a great job. So when we got this email this week, we all looked at each other and were like, call Miranda! And this one has to do with a dude that's addicted to drugs, and he knows it, and I guess he's done a pretty good job of hiding it from his wife, but now feels like, okay, how do I handle this? So here's your kid warning, your trigger warning. We're going to be talking about drug abuse right here, and this is the email that we received, Miranda. And with any luck at all, you'd be able to give them at least some kind of guidance. When Miranda walked in here this morning, I said, thanks for coming in here and doing the impossible.
Yeah.
Taking like a really complex problem and trying to advise in 5 to 7 minutes. Impossible.
Yeah, we understand that some of these problems, if problems could be solved in 7 minutes, oh my God, this world would be a wonderful, wonderful place.
7-minute therapist.
Yes,
man.
right. Just one session, 7 minutes, boom, you're done.
Yeah,
That might be a thing.
But we know what Miranda can do, and that is give you some tools to get that ball rolling. And so, no, your problem's not going to be solved in 7 minutes. However, you're going to be given some advice that's going to send you in the right direction.
Right. Miranda, if we do 7-minute therapists, you could see 5-6 patients an hour.
I mean,
think of the money.
Can we take a break just so that I can secure the domain name?
All right. Good morning, Bert Show and Bert Show family. Miranda is now part of our Bert Show family. I need your help and advice with a huge issue I have. I am addicted to drugs. Not to give too many details away about myself, but from the outside looking in, I'm a normal guy. Recently got married. I have a great job where I'm making close to $200,000 a year. Have a great social life with a lot of friends. Life is great, but there is one problem. I have a drug addiction. I would describe myself as a functioning cocaine addict. I go to work every day, and after work, I work out for 2 hours, but on weekends when I drink, I go a little crazy. When I drink, it's not as fun without it, and when I do drugs, it's not as fun without drinking. I have come to realize that I need some help, and the first thing I need to do is tell my wife, but I am absolutely terrified of her reaction. She knows I do it with my friends every now and then on a bachelor party weekend or a big blowout party. Blowout party, cocaine, blowout party. And isn't too happy about it, but what she doesn't know is that I've been doing it almost every weekend. Please, Bert Show, if there's anyone who has been in my situation, please give me some advice on where to start and where to go. Thanks for the help from a vulnerable P1. Okay, Miranda, where do we start?
Therapy.
Therapy, that's what you're here for.
Just got that out of the way.
Okay. That's the given.
Yes. Yeah, that's the given. So, I want to congratulate this emailer, listener, for having the insight and the willingness to start the change. That is incredible, and that you have a leg up. But I would recommend 2 things. One is set a simple, realistic goal for the conversation and some intentions. And then 2, recognize the signs of when it's time to pause in the conversation. And so that first one, the simple, realistic goals, these can include something like being able to tell the whole truth, or I want to make it through this conversation without making an excuse, or wanting to control my partner's reaction, being able to regulate your own emotions, which is a really big ask, I know, so that your partner will have enough space to have their own.
So that's like saying, if you're going to go all in. Like, don't sugarcoat how much you're doing it. If you're going to present the problem to your wife, and I'm trying not to put words in your mouth.
No.
I'm just trying to decipher what you're saying for him. Go all in. Tell her everything.
Absolutely. However, I will have a caveat, and I think this is included in the second point, in recognizing times to pause the conversation. This is a lot to digest. And so it's a fine line between being 100% honest and not omitting, but then not wanting to dump, because that it's just asking your partner to be a little bit too overwhelmed, and it's setting you up, and I care about you. You are the client today. I don't want you to experience such an adverse reaction that you never open up again. So let's just be mindful that, this is just the first of a series of conversations. Being okay with the circle back, let's check in. There is more, or even acknowledging that there's more.
I think that's important to reiterate, is that something like this is not a one and done conversation. And I know it's going to be hard to rip that Band-Aid, and like having conversations like this, or you're in your head and you're playing out scenarios and you're getting yourself all, you're getting yourself in a tizzy over the conversation. And then you think, okay, well, if I just have this one conversation, then it's done. I think you need to be realistic with yourself and realize, with an issue like this, you're going to need to have multiple conversations.
100%.
And I think when you're talking about therapy also, and correct me if I'm wrong here, like when you're nervous about breaking something this big to your wife, and you're so nervous about it, are there other things in play here also? Like, you're scared she's going to judge you, that she's going to leave you, that there's some abandonment things going on, so you hold back?
100%. And you also have to recognize that the initial reaction may not be the forever reaction.
Yeah.
And so, as best you can, trying to regulate those thoughts, I want to normalize that for you. Anticipate that the reaction will evolve over time.
What is the proper, does he clear the house of the kids and everything else, and it's just them two together? How does he even approach it?
One, I would say, yes, you don't want a lot of interruptions, right? Natural or otherwise. And it's okay to think out loud. I always feel like we're in a movie where there's so much that you want the other person on the screen to say, just tell them, so instead, don't hold that to yourself, that this is really hard. I have to speak to you about something that I've really struggled with. That's okay to say, or set the intention, like, my hope today is that I'm able to tell you something without making you feel as if it's yours to carry. If that's your goal, set those intentions so that everyone in the room is aware of it.
I feel like sometimes in situations like these, a person may be hesitant to speak about it openly with someone that they're close to, because they're not confident in themselves and being able to overcome it. So as opposed to even being open about it, they'll just hold it in. Like, what would you offer somebody to know that it's okay to speak on it, even if you don't have a plan on yourself?
Well, at least you'll have support at that point to make a plan. So one thing I will say is that there's a bunch of treatment facilities. Some of them will offer a free assessment. And so just because you can't afford therapy doesn't mean that you shouldn't be in contact with someone involved in that realm. They could point you to free resources or funding in your area, and maybe even help you break the news. Like, people have gone through this before. Remembering that you are not the only one going through this. Other people have gone through this, and they didn't die by telling their partner. And I'm really dramatic, so excuse the morbidity.
All right, again, we're asking her to do the absolute impossible, and it's like, try to solve a problem, or at least get them on the road in like 6 or 7 minutes. So Miranda Campbell, again, a licensed therapist. You can reach out to her at portcg.com, and if you have something going on in your life that is way above Bert Show pay grade, At least we got somebody really smart in here that can help you out on Thursday.
Sometimes smart. Sometimes smart.
Mostly smart.
Yes.
Mostly smart in 7 minutes.
You're the smartest person in this room right now.
Thank you.
That's not saying a hell of a lot. Outside of all right.
That's Cassie.
Thank you for coming on in here. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.